Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, I-95 rollover. Crews are working in Johnston County to remove this tractor trailer that flipped over on the interstate. Why the load it was carrying is making it so hard to move.
And our monkey meter way up here at Tropical. I'll show you what it will feel like this afternoon, well over the triple digits.
Staying safe in that sun. What you need to know about keeping your child in good health when you send them off to summer camp in this hot weather. Something to think about as camps have started in full swing right now, and the hot weather we know is here. I'm Jeff Hogan. Good to have you with us.
And I'm Renee Chu. Something for all of us to keep in mind, knowing our limits as we limit our time outdoors because it is going to be hot. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. And this isn't ordinary heat. It's feeling really bad out there.
It really is. You know, it's supposed to be hot this time of year, but this takes it up a notch for sure. It's already 80 degrees outside. Our dew point is 72, so that's very warm and very muggy. And of course, the more moisture in the atmosphere, the harder it is for your body to cool itself. 73 in Roxborough, not so bad, but 79 in Fayetteville, 80 in Durham, 77 Rocky Mount, 76 in Southern Pines. So we're starting here, and then we're just going to take it higher. We do have a very small chance of afternoon and evening thunderstorms, 20% chance, so not much coming along to help cool us down today. We'll see a high of 96 degrees this afternoon, a little warmer than it was yesterday. And then here's the heat index. It's likely to feel like 104 at around 3 o'clock. It only gets hotter from here. We'll walk you through the next several days coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. We have breaking news we're following. The traffic is slowed on I-95 this morning after that tractor trailer rolled over near US 301 exit in Johnston County. Now, Ali Kadlubar is there in the WRAL breaking news tracker for us this morning. Those crews, Ali, have been working for about 4 hours now. It's going to take a lot longer to move that truck.
Yes, Jeff, and just in the past 15 minutes, I spoke with Highway Patrol, who says this process is going to take several more hours. So take a look. We are kind of in the distance from this crash. Those flashing lights and yellow flashing lights in the distance, that is where we see 3 wreckers trying to lift that overturned 18-wheeler right there. Now, take a look at this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. Now, Highway Patrol tells me this all happened around 12:30 this morning. The driver hit the guardrail and overturned on the right side. Now, they later determined, they say that the driver was impaired and they charged the driver with a DUI. Now, we do know the driver was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and Highway Patrol says this is just the start of the process. They are inching that 18-wheeler up. They say it is carrying tons and tons of blackberries. So just a heads up, if you're heading on I-95, you're going to see it down to 1 lane. Cones are blocking it leading up to it, so just be aware that exit leading into Kinley is also closed. So this is going to take a long process. They even have to unload all of the blackberries when they get it turned right side up. So we are still working to learn, of course, the impact and how long this will take. We're going to be out here throughout the morning. Reporting in Kinley, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
A man is due in court today after escaping from the back of a police car in Fayetteville. Police say Randy Locklear kicked out a patrol car's window while he was being transported for questioning. WRAL obtained photos of him being recaptured. Now, WRAL spoke with Lindsay Moat, who spotted him during his attempted escape. Locklear made his way through the yard and could even be seen sitting at her pool for a moment. And Moat says she was startled to see someone in her yard. And all of this happened in less than 10 minutes.
My heart was pumping for, a little while because it's not something you think is ever going to happen at your house.
Locklear was initially in custody in connection to a robbery investigation. He had an active warrant for a probation violation out of Harnett County. He will face more charges related to this escape.
Today, a civil rights group will expand on claims that singer R. Kelly's life is in jeopardy at the federal prison in Butner. This comes after Kelly's lawyers say prison officials purposely gave the singer an overdose of medication while he was in solitary confinement. Kelly was taken to Duke Hospital in Durham for treatment. His lawyer says jailers have a murder plot against Kelly. Representatives for civil rights groups True Healing Under God and Him Too movement plan to hold a news conference this morning at 10:30 at the prison. Kelly is serving a 30-year sentence for racketeering and sex trafficking.
We're preparing for a very hot weather today and in the days to come, and that can be especially dangerous for kids on this first week of summer camp. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live this morning from Crowder County Park in Apex. And Kelsey, parents need to take extra precautions before sending their kids off to these outdoor camps.
Yes, Renee, they do. We know that kids will be experiencing nature here at Crowder County Park throughout the summer, and extreme heat is on the way, so parents need to be sending their kids to camp with a whole lot of water. Now, data shows that younger children have a more difficult time with cooling down and regulating their body temperature, so here are some ways you can keep them cool. Give them water-rich food like watermelon, berries, and cucumbers. You also need to make sure playground equipment is not overheated. Now, you just heard Elizabeth say that temperatures are in the 90s this week. So when the air temperature is 90 degrees, pavement, slides, and swing sets can get above 130 degrees. It can be really dangerous for kids, and we know that there is going to be a lot of humidity this week, so you can find out how that can add to this heat during Ask the Meteorologist at 7:15 on Fox 50. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Apex.
And with the heat index rising above 100 degrees, cooling stations will be open today. Wake County has temporary cooling stations at libraries, regional centers, and health and human service offices. Cumberland County and the city of Fayetteville have also designated various government buildings as cooling centers. You can go to the Department of Social Services, Public Health, libraries, Parks and Rec, and the transit system buildings.
Video overnight apparently shows Iranian air defenses repelling rockets over the capital city of Tehran after Israel warned about a series of impending strikes in that area. The footage from the Iranian media outlet Mer News shows flashes and explosions in the sky. On X, the Israeli military told residents in Tehran 18th district there to evacuate, a warning of strikes against military infrastructure. This also comes as a barrage of missiles from Iran hit central Israel early Wednesday. Now, more than 200 people have been killed in Iran since Israel's initial strike last week. More than 20 people have been killed in Israel.
A man faces charges after deputies in Edgecombe County say he led them on a high-speed chase while under the influence. Deputies say Melvin Rumpf sped away when they tried to stop him for an expired registration. The chase went through Rocky Mount in Nash County at speeds of more than 130 miles an hour. Sky 5 flew over the scene after the chase ended in this crash. Rumpf was taken to the hospital.
Johnston County has a new school superintendent. In a 6-1 vote, the school board chose David Pierce for the role. The sole board member to vote against Pierce says she voted no because she believes the district should have done a more extensive search. Pierce is currently the assistant superintendent of administrative and auxiliary services. He'll take over as superintendent July 1st.
State lawmakers will move ahead next week with a bill to provide additional relief for Helene recovery. The House passed a relief bill weeks ago, but Senate Republicans said it needed to be part of the budget. Senate Leader Phil Berger now says the House and Senate have reached an impasse on the budget. He says the Senate will take up the standalone bill before they leave Raleigh for the 4th of July break.
Florida hockey fans have a lot to be happy about this morning. They took to the streets overnight to celebrate Panthers' second straight Stanley Cup win. Panthers hoisted the cup after beating the Edmonton Oilers in Game 6. 5-1 was the final score. They're led by Sam Reinhart, who became the first player in nearly 70 years to score 4 goals in a single Stanley Cup final game. Making better use of time.
So do you want to save someone from being robbed, or you want to have to deal with the fender bender?
The new police division in Durham that aims to free officers up to handle the most important issues.
Back on track, vital rail service is rolling again in western North Carolina. The help these trains will bring to businesses still recovering from Helene.
And dangerous heat is on the way today as we give you this live look at Franklinton. Good morning to you. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. When we'll feel temperatures pushing into the 90s and a heat index over 100.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It's 4:42 and it's already 80 degrees in Durham and Raleigh right now, 77 in Wilson and 79 in Fayetteville. And this is almost the coolest time of the day. We'll give it another couple of hours. Temperatures could drop a degree or two, but we're really starting very warm. And so it makes it a lot easier to get, to some of those really high temperatures. We do have a small chance for thunderstorms this afternoon, about a 20% chance for this evening. I'll walk you through futurecast and you'll see the coverage for today isn't great. There's really not any rain coming along to help to cool us off. As a matter of fact, this is a look at our heat index forecast. By lunchtime, it's going to feel like 99. It'll feel like 104 at 3 o'clock. And even at 6 o'clock, if you're thinking about being out and about, still going to feel like 97 degrees. We take a look at what's happening as we get into the weekend and early next week. The hottest temperatures so far this season and almost 100-degree range. I'll show you what the heat index will be then coming up.
Federal prosecutors say the man accused of shooting Minnesota lawmakers was driving a car designed to look like a law enforcement vehicle. The triangle is no stranger to law enforcement impersonation cases. A North Carolina board regulates private security firms in the state, including on the use of decommissioned police cars. One member says it's crucial that equipment like lights and signage are removed from retired vehicles before they go to auction to prevent any confusion over whether the person inside is actually law enforcement.
Could be just any average person that wanted to break into something or do some damage. It's not a very good idea to have these vehicles available for just anybody.
The board member says it falls on agencies to take law enforcement gear out of decommissioned cars.
Sky 5 was over a scene of a large police presence in Durham on Fayetteville Street. You see several police cars there, and that crime scene tape surrounding Jack's In-N-Out convenience store. We've reached out to Durham police to find out what happened. We're still waiting to hear back from them.
A state lawmaker has apologized for a social media post this weekend. Representative Julie Von Haven posted a video this weekend of a No Kings protest, and it included a protester with a sign featuring a guillotine and a fake severed head that resembled President Trump. Following the post, a spokesman for the state Republican Party called for her resignation. The Wake County Democrat apologized to colleagues, her constituents, and to anyone who was offended. She said she was taking accountability for her mistake.
Durham police are adding a civilian crash investigative unit to help make the department more efficient. Raleigh has a similar unit that has already handled more than 1,200 non-injury crashes this year. Durham police say its officers spend 9,000 hours a year handling non-injury crashes. Officials say that time could be better spent focusing on areas of bigger need across the city.
Whether it frees them up to go and, do directed patrols in a neighborhood that may need it, or do more traffic stops, or essentially just be present at a community meeting. It frees them up. That's one less thing that they have to think about if they know that they've got a team of CTI that are there to respond to the crashes that we get the most.
The team will expand to 3 members by August and 6 by next spring.
The ATF is adding to the reward for help finding the man in this surveillance video. This is their suspect in the shooting death of a convenience store employee in Sanford last month. He's accused of shooting and killing Alfredo Maris during a robbery on May 3rd. The ATF will pay up to $7,500. That's in addition to the $1,000 offered by Harnett County officials. A man is in the hospital after he was shot 3 times in Hope Mills. Police there say it happened just before 3 Tuesday afternoon on Hill Street. They say the shooter drove away in a purple car.
Rail service is back now in western North Carolina after devastation from Hurricane Helene. The Blue Ridge Southern Railway is fully operational now, but not quite back to normal. The trains can't travel as fast as they did before. They carry freight to western North Carolina businesses that took a hit while the rail was out.
We're actually going to team up with North Carolina Railroad Company. They do a great deal of economic development and marketing on behalf of the rail industry.
County leaders say they hope to get more rail cars on the tracks instead of trucks on the highways. The repairs were made through a railroad company grant and a separate grant from the state DOT.
It is 4:47, and we have what will feel like triple-digit heat on the way. Elizabeth, it's going to feel like 104 today.
It is, it is June, and this is not unprecedented, but, this is weather we typically see a little later in the summer, July and August. Right now, we're taking a live look at downtown Raleigh. Skies are clear. There's a hint of a breeze, but it's really hot and muggy. 80 degrees with a dew point way up at 72. By 9 o'clock, we're at 82, and we're in the 90s by lunchtime already. We take a look at the heat index, and we're going to check the temperatures and talk more about how the temperature and the heat index relate to each other. 72 in Roxborough, not too bad there. 77 Goldsboro, 76 right now in Southern Pines, and we're looking at mid to upper 70s for the most part in the Triangle. 75 Apex, 76 in Cary, 74 in Chapel Hill, 78 in Knightdale. Around town, our high temperature 96 in Raleigh, 95 in Durham, 96 in Fayetteville. A very tiny chance of a thunderstorm later on this afternoon. The big event today in downtown Raleigh is live after 5. Things kick off there. The music starts at 6 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, it's still 95, but it does cool down some. It's 90 at 7 o'clock and 87 at 9 o'clock. And there is some shade there at City Plaza. So hopefully that will help folks who are headed out there. Not a lot of rain on the way today to help cool things down. This is lunchtime, just really bright, hot sunshine. A few cells pop up back to our west at 5 o'clock, but mostly just fizzle as those move into our area. So just a 20% chance to kind of cover the bases for us. So heat is, of course, the big story for us today. And that heat, of course, is likely to be a big issue. Our potential dangerous heat today, 104 today, 105 Thursday, and then 105 on Sunday. That heat really starts to build as we get into next week. A big ridge of high pressure comes in next week. High pressure systems have sinking air. That sinking air heats and compresses. And it could be a near record strong high pressure system. And that keeps that heat dome in place. And of course, this is what that means. We're looking at a major heat risk for Monday and then an extreme heat risk on Tuesday. So just keep that in mind as we go forward. We're not going to cool down anytime soon. Remember how hot your car gets with these temperatures. In 10 minutes at 90 degrees, your car feels already like 109. Looking ahead to tomorrow, it's a WRAL weather alert day. We have a front that'll come through and some severe storms possible. We'll go through that coming up.
Alligator attack. Safety warnings in a North Carolina town after a 12-year-old girl was bitten while in the water.
And getting the right seat. In the next hour, 5 on your side breaks down the important things to keep in mind as you shop for your child's high chair. JetBlue is slashing more flights and cutting costs. The airline says it'll have fewer routes to several states as well as to major airports like JFK. JetBlue also plans to trim overhead by combining some leadership roles and slowing hiring. The company is trying to get on firmer financial ground after a tough year marked by higher costs and a failed merger with Spirit Airlines.
2 entertainment icons are getting honorary Oscars, and a concert series featuring the best music and video games is coming to the U.S. Douglas Hyde has today's Hollywood Minute.
Tom Cruise has never received an Oscar, but that's set to change. The Motion Picture Academy announced it's giving Cruise an honorary Oscar for his commitment to the filmmaking and stunt performer communities. Dolly Parton will also receive one for her humanitarian efforts. They'll pick up their statuettes at a special ceremony in November. U.S. tour dates for PlayStation The Concert have just been announced. The stage show combines music and visuals from 9 famous video game titles, including The Last of Us, God of War, and Uncharted. Tickets go on sale this week, and a full list of tour dates can be found on PlayStation.com.
What are you waiting for?
Jennifer Love Hewitt brings back a famous line in the latest trailer for I Know What You Did Last Summer. The Fright flick slashes into theaters next month and, of course, has the same title as the 1997 original. Hewitt's character returns to help a group of friends fight back against a hook-wielding murderer. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
A 12-year-old girl is recovering after being attacked by an alligator in Lake Waccamaw in North Carolina. Police say the attack happened last Friday while a group of kids played in the water. Officials say one of the children yelled that something bit her. They all rushed out to the water and they found a 7-foot alligator surfaced nearby. The town's mayor says it's an important reminder to be aware of your surroundings in the water.
People are coming in, tourists are coming in. They don't, kind of We need to educate people. Be mindful of your surroundings. Do not feed the alligators. Do not dump your table scraps from supper the night before in the lake.
A girl needed half a dozen stitches in her leg, but is otherwise fine. Investigators with the North Carolina Wildlife Commission say instances where alligators make unprovoked contact with humans are rare.
A long-anticipated vision for Eastern Wake County is moving forward. The Wake County Board of Commissioners approved the design for Lake Myra County Park. Phase 1 will include a park center with offices and classrooms, picnic shelter and restrooms, boat launch for staff-led activities, and a fishing platform. The park is scheduled to open in 2027.
Breaking news for you this morning. A tractor-trailer rollover on I-95 has traffic slowed in Johnston County. What we have learned about the cause of that crash and how long it'll take to clear it.
R. Kelly's claims. The singer says his life is in danger inside a federal prison in North Carolina. Why he believes jailers in Butner are trying to kill him.
And temperature is going to heat up to dangerous levels today as you take a live look here at Chapel Hill. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has the forecast of when we will feel a heat index well over 100 later today.